Hey folks, what's going on? It's Matt with Heroic Tactics. I'm trying out a new thing today. I am testing out like a weekly review of HeroClix or a weekly review of my life in HeroClix just to see what is going on. It's live. I wanted to see if I can get anybody's opinions. I'm up here at Mothership Books and Games. The sign is up there. Um, yeah, it's. I just finished opening my brick, live unboxing my brick of Joker's Wild. So if you saw that, thank you for watching that. If you're opening bricks, I hope you get some good pulls. If you want to comment with your pulls in the comments, I would totally want to hear what everybody gets. See what everybody gets because there's some fun stuff in this set. And as a Batman fan, I am nerding out about it because it's got all like the villains, the key villains, the main villains, the villains that are what I'm totally into. Just kind of bummed me out that all the good Batman villains are in the higher rarity level, making it a little bit harder to get, but it's still a really exciting set for me. Gosh. Oh yeah, look, see, there's the bricks because I'm up here still because we're gonna be having a sealed event afterwards. Yes, it's release sealed. We don't typically have them on the release day. We usually have them on that Saturday, but this Saturday is our Witch Kids Open, so no one's going to be here. And of course, if the set came out last week, like when it was supposed to, there'd be no conflict and everything would be great. But no, we're doing ours today, and unfortunately, it's also conflicting with another store's release event, which is another super bummer thing. So just the fact, the delay just really kind of messed everything up. I mean, I'm grateful that Austin's got the Wiz Kids Open, and that's always a lot of fun. I know people are coming in from all around. We're going to see some new meta. Hopefully, whatever wins, I have the pieces of so that I can flip them for some money, or I don't have to, if I do want those pieces, I already have them, so I don't have to chase them down. But crossing my finger on that Rennet Tilly being worth some money, or doing some stuff, or the Armagon being worth some money. That'd be fun, because I'd actually theoretically threw together a team that would rely on the Armagon and the Rennet. But yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about it. Last week, I was able to play 2 games or two events, which is like super awesome. It seems to be a rarity nowadays that I'm able to play both the Friday night and the Saturday afternoon games. Friday night's game was 500 points. Like it was called like Taxi, something like that. But the point was you're able to use a vehicle on your team without it breaking theme. And I didn't have any real vehicles left. I mean, I had the turtle van, but everybody was running the turtle van that night, so I didn't really feel like running the turtle van. So I actually went with something different instead. Let's try this out, see how this works. Oh boy. Go up. There we go. Awesome. So this is the team I ran. I guess it would have been appropriate if I had ran the turtle van because, that's the thing. I ran all 4 of the IDW turtles. Rennet Tilly as my taxi and her prop and crazy stuff like that. And the Splinter from the first TMNT set because he's got that the Empower, or he's got the traded Empower for turtles, and we get that one unique modifier that buffs his Ninja Turtles attack, like the main turtles attack. So ran it together for 495. And of course, it's kind of obvious what my goal was for Rennet Tilly to carry my team up and, start wailing on that with Splinter getting all following out, so not so far behind because he's got sidestep. He's got a kind of wonky movement, but still a decent amount of movement. It wasn't that hard to get around. With Leonardo and with Splinter providing leadership, I was able to get enough actions, I believe, and just kind of have fun. My first match was almost a mirror match because my opponent had the Donatello, the Leonardo, and the Michelangelo. He was just waiting for the Raphael. He ran Rennet Tilly as well. He ran what's her name? Karai. He ran Karai, and then he ran the Fugitoid. And we had very similar approaches. Oh, he also ran the symbiote, something that I still need because that thing is awesome. and he gave Michelangelo plasticity and shape change. And starting with the starting prop, he was a beast. We traded blows back and forth. I was a little bit more aggressive than him because I pushed my Rennet to get to her super prop, and he was more relaxed than that, or wasn't willing to do that. He also never pushed his Fugitoid to the outwit click, which is something that I did when I was running him. I'm like, nope, get me on that outwit click as soon as possible, because he could still carry stuff and he could still outwit, which is kind of what I was really into. And that went to time, and I was able to win on points barely. The next match was a crazy, like, don't die tech match. It was, why am I drawing a blank? It was that crazy absorbing man. It was Mephisto. It was, the Devil Dinosaur, and it was a Quinjet, and a bunch of ID cards and stuff like that. Well, just 3 ID cards. And I was like, oh no, dude, how am I going to do that? I'm like, okay, just take a deep breath and just try to take it down one character at a time. I was able to win map roll because he wasn't themed, and I got that Crazy War of Light map, the one that's 6 levels up. I know you could put the Quinjet everywhere, but by having really wonky elevation, I was able to stagger his positioning and kind of, I think, help with my positioning right there. I got lucky, like obscenely lucky, like twice. I crossed the board to base his Devil Dinosaur where he'd moved stuff up. Oh, I'm sorry, he was also running the KC Wonder Woman at the lower point value. And he did this really cool thing because he put her in the middle of the field on top of the symbiote. So, like, first turning power action and equip the symbiote. So all of a sudden he had a Wonder Woman with support and shape change and plasticity in the middle of the field, which is really kind of cool. I'd never seen it like that. He said he had picked it up at at a rock, and that was a really cool thing. I hadn't seen that before. So props to Dustin. I came across the field and I based this Devil Dinosaur. I was like, I gotta take him out before he starts making pogs. He had made the pulse wave progs, but and he had moved them forward, and I just phased away from them to get up in that Devil Dinosaur's face. And he called in the Green Arrow LE. He perplexed up his attack to his 13, and he running shot on Energy Explosion onto my team. And it took all my probs and a whole ton of luck. But even though he needed a 5, he managed to miss. So that was like my first saving grace right there. I took out Devil Dinosaur. Then I took out Devil Dinosaur. And he was coming after me with his Absorbing Man. So I was moving around using the fact that they ignore elevation. The turtles ignore elevation just to totally escape and do fun stuff like that. And why am I? Yeah. Then I got lucky again because he set up this really neat thing where he was going to just beat my booty in, and he actually moved before calling in an ID character. And if he had called the ID character first, he would have ate my lunch. So I got really lucky there. And in the end, I was able to blow up the Quinjet. He had actually moved the Quinjet next to Wonder Woman and had her become the pilot. So when I blew up the Quinjet, she died as well. So I got 200 points. He whipped out my Donnie and my Rennet, and so I barely won that on points. Points. It was definitely luck. I did, better than I thought I was going to do. So that's I guess a victory right there. It's literally a victory. I don't know why I'm belittling it. And then my final match of the night was against the guy who had a hodgepodge of characters. Really, a friend of ours who's been playing for a while, and they had. It was really awesome because they had a whole bunch of different Iron Fists or Danny Rands on there, which tickled my funny bone when he was doing that. He split his team up early on in the game. I had picked that. I won map roll and I picked that the six elevation map just because it did so well for me on round 2. So I was like, well, let's try this again. And he had split his forces up, and I was able to pounce on the forces that he moved too far forward, and then just clean up the rest of the stuff. So I got lucky there on positioning. I was able to get my 3 wins. I came in second based on points just because I couldn't win those first 2 games outright. And yeah, that was my Friday night. It was pretty awesome. My next Saturday game was. There we go. Oh, let's move this first. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, my next was a. It was 600 points, 4 actions. I don't think there's anything else special about it. Just no tactics, I believe. No, just 600 points, no actions. So I ran a Thunderbolts team. I just paid a good amount of money for Mach 4 and for Taskmaster. Taskmaster because he's great, and Mach 4 needed him to complete like my proper Superior Force team. Like I know it's not keyworded, so I couldn't make a real like theme team Superior Foes, but like I just wanted to make a comic accurate Superior Foes team, so I paid $5 for him to get him from a friend. He was, but yeah, so I wanted to run them all. Thunderbolts team, and I was putting my team together, and then I noticed that Nighthawk Prime, or not the Nighthawk Prime, the regular Nighthawk, I only played him once because, you know, he was overshadowed by the Prime. The Prime was what everyone's talking about, but he's got this really great trait, which I had forgot about because I never played him on a defender or a theme team, but it's the pushing the defenders to be more proactive. The Nighthawk and friendly characters that share a keyword with him may replace their attack value with the unmodified attack value of adjacent friendly characters sharing the same keyword. I was like, that is insane, because I'm running, oh, I didn't put it on here. Haha. The final person on my team, which I forgot to mention, but yeah, I'm running that Bullseye and the Chaos War Hawkeye. So both of those are natural 12 attacks. So with Nighthawk's ability, I'm sharing that 12 attack amongst my team. So it was, yeah, dude, I was pretty stoked how all this worked together. I actually had 2 points left over, or I used 2 points to put on the pin particles, but after my first game, I was like, that's a waste. I wasted my time picking him and equipping him when I should have just been attacking with Speed Demon. Yeah, so my first match was against Dustin, who played that Quinjet the night before, and he was playing this thing. It wasn't 100% animal keyword, but it was Teakle, it was Rocket and Groot, the LE, the Con LE, it was Sabretooth and Wildchild. Man, it was blah, 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 blah. The guy from Avengers Assemble had the wolf. But the whole cool thing about it, it was animals that pop off, and he beat my booty. Like the only thing I was able to KO was Teagle, which I may have cheated on doing, and Rocket Raccoon, and that was it. So that was a hand me like just destroyed, beat down kind of thing. My next match was against my friend Henry. Henry was running an Illuminati team with the Doc Strange, that LE one that adjacent friendly characters get shape changed. And he had beat me with that one before, and he's a scary dude because, like, Henry rolls those shape changes, and I just went up wasting attacks. And so we had a player that would use Krakoa all the time, but he just put heavy reducers on his team, win the map roll, and then use Krakoa. So we had to house roll Krakoa to do penetrating damage. And I was like, well, let's go with that to see if I can get that extra damage in so I wouldn't have to worry about shape change. So I won map roll because he was Illuminati themed. He was running the Professor X from AVX, the Ellie Sorcerer Supreme, Black Panther from Age of Ultron. What was that last one? Golly, I forgot. But we went back and forth. He did some crazy stuff. He did this really sick mind control that messed me up pretty good. The Earthquake messed my team up pretty good because it's penetrating damage. And the very end, my judge called last action, and I was able to hit with Bullseye to take out his last dude, so I won that on points. Like, barely. So that was a really good game. It was a lot of fun. And my last match was against a newer player. I want to say his name is David, but I apologize if I said that wrong.
Sure they do. They make them sausage.
He was running. Man, this was Saturday. I should remember this stuff way easier. Moreland. He was running Moreland. He was running a brood. Not a brood. Those the scrolls, the shape-shifting scrolls. Those aren't broods. What are those stupid things called? The ones that got prop control and shape change, and if it kills something, it gets to steal stuff. Golly, it was a bunch of stuff, and that one, we fought a kid at a time. He did do something super awesome, which when he used, what are those stupid things? I'm just gonna look this up. This is so dumb of me. There's this thing called the internet, and I have access to it, so I should totally be taking advantage of it. Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy. Dire Wraith, yeah. So his Dire Wraith finished off my speed demon, and so his Dire Wraith got hypersonic. It was the coolest thing. We were like, that's because speed demon doesn't have a lot of like actual powers on his team. So when the Dire Wraith got hypersonic, it was just too exciting and too cool. And that was another match that went to time, and I was able to win that one also on points. Not a lot. But I was able to win that, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, so as it stands, I'm really stoked on this team. The IDW Turtles, they play so well together, and they play so well together. And then Tilly, she just she makes it. She's so good. She can carry 4 people regardless of keywords, which is fantastic. Because she's an Uber taxi. An Uber taxi. She's got prop control. If you push her to the second click, she can prop from anywhere. So it's all about getting stuff in your face. Starting 12 movement, so she's clearing the board first, or she's moving across the board first turn, and dumping 4 people in your opponent's grill. And if they're not prepared for that, if they're not ready for that, it's great. And she's like scientist keyworded. No, she's teacher keyworded and past keyworded. She's got some great keywords. I think she's going to be essential for a lot of teams coming forward. And then the IDW Turtles, I'm a Turtle fan. I had to play them together to see them because they were cool. And I do like that Splinter, the Splinter, the uncommon from the first Turtle set, a little bit more than the rare in the new set. That's because he buffs the Turtles up way better. My Thunderbolts team, oh my god, that's so much fun. I'm totally playing that team again. I'm kind of bummed that I couldn't get the bigger Speed Demon from Deadpool on that set, and I couldn't get him on the team. But at 590, 580, 578, if I don't put the stupid pin particles on there, it was such a blast to play with. They worked so well together. That Nighthawk, who I had written off because I only played him a couple times, on a match that me and Joe played. So if you saw that match, thank you for watching that. But yeah, he's great. He's one of the many Marvel Batman clones, and as a Batman fan, I want to play with as many of them as possible. I got to look at his generic keywords, but I'm wondering if I could make a team with him and Batman, and maybe Moon Knight and Black Panther, so I can get like all the Batman style characters together. That'd be great. Oh man. So like I said, we have a sealed event tonight, so I'll be playing that. We have a draft on Friday. I hope we'll be able to make that, but I don't know how things are going to be. We have the WKO, and unfortunately, I cannot make that. Not even the Battle Royale, which is kind of a bummer on my part. But we've had the date for a while, and it's kind of been cool. Yeah, so this show's kind of going kind of well. I should have planned a little bit better. I had rehearsed all the stuff I wanted to say in my head at work when I was working, but I should have been paying attention to either one or the other more than what I did. I guess like what's going on with me at the moment. I didn't see this week's Supergirl, and I'm 2 episodes behind on Flash, which is a super bummer because the episode that I had seen in Flash last was the one where like next week we're introducing Wally West as Kid Flash, which was like the thing I've been waiting for since they introduced Iris. I was like, come on, when are we gonna get our Wally? And so I just need to sit down and watch them. I'm kind of bummed that I missed them. But yeah, I've been watching Supergirl and live tweeting Supergirl, and that has been so much fun, dude. The Supergirl community is like a super positive and super really fun, and it's definitely an enjoyable show. It's the second best DC show out right now, not counting. I mean, Flash of course is first, and it's it's everything the movies should be. They're like, hey, look, we can have fun. Marvel's not afraid to have fun in their movies, and DC is like, no, we want to be serious. And we're like, dude, we all love the Dark Knight. It was a great series. It was, but we don't want to be gloomy all the time. I mean, I love all the Batman cartoons, and like I avoided Brave and the Bold because it looked silly. But when I finally said, hey, you know what, I want to have fun, and I watched all the Brave and the Bolds like over a course of like 3 days because they are just a fantastically fun series. And so if you haven't watched Brave and the Bold, I totally recommend you doing that. And just I totally recommend that DC remembers that comics are fun and escapism is fun. We're looking to have a good time, and they kind of go in that direction. I have not seen Doctor Strange yet. I need to. I have this thing where I like going early on Sunday mornings when there's no teenagers. God, I feel so old, but I'm like, no, please, let me avoid as many teenagers as possible. So, I haven't been able to make it out there yet, but it's totally on my to-do list. I saw somebody today say it's the best Marvel movie since Guardians of the Galaxy, which is super high praise, especially considering that Civil War was so awesome. So it's definitely intriguing. At first, I was like, yeah, because like Doctor Strange was never a hero that I cared too much about. He was like the Fantastic Four. I knew he was there. I knew he was important. He just wasn't anything that I was like, oh, cool, I need to see this guy. But yeah, he's on my to-do list. And then I guess, wow, we're like weeks away from Rogue One. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Every trailer that comes out, I'm like drooling right here for it. So whatevs. So yeah, that's my deal. If you like this show, please let me know what you think. I'll try to be more prepared. I'm just trying to try something new because I keep telling myself, oh, I'm going to film my games. But like when you're in the event and you're in the heat of the moment, and you're chatting with friends and you're playing, and you're having a good time, I'll forget to set up my equipment, and then of course, means I forget to record the game, and I can't really show anything about it. But yeah, cool. Thank you for watching. This is Matt with Heroic Tactics, and may all your dice roll hot.